pajama pants. A photo of Dixon is available on the Sevier County Sheriff's social media accounts. Will Nunley, Access Tennessee News.
You know, everyone has a more. First, it's a pony, then to be on the cheer squad. Your more grows up just like you do, but your more can still carry you away or make you cheer. At First Bank, banking local gets you more. More of our time, more access to local bankers, more flexibility, and more product choices. Because getting more empowered and confident helps you pursue your more. That never grows old. First Bank. Bank local, get more. Member FDIC.
This is Peter Demas, inviting you to enjoy a meal with our family at Demas's Restaurant. With cold and flu season here, nothing helps my family more than having the Demas's baked chicken and rice soup. It was a soup that was created by my grandmother, and we not only sell it by the cup, but we also sell it by the quart, by the half gallon, and by the gallon. So stop by anytime today and bring soup to your family that may be sick, or a friend that's sick, or just to enjoy it just because it tastes so good. Demas's Restaurant.
Murfreesboro Funeral Home and Cremation Services.
People that come in to pre-plan their funerals and put it down in writing makes it a whole lot easier on the children at the time of their death. This is what Mama wanted, this is what we want to do. It takes the pressure off of them, and it helps them through that process that they love them enough to take care of this.
Keith Stapleton, manager of the Murfreesboro Funeral Home.
It's a good idea to put something down in writing.
Murfreesboro Funeral Home, off of South Church Street. Visit murfreesborofuneralhome.com.
Hey neighbor, when you talk, others listen. If it's on Good Neighbor Talk, keep it here. WGNS, AM, FM, online.
A check of your Good Neighbor Events calendar is next on All That's News at 4:55.
Good Neighbor Events is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, AmeriCare Pest Control, and Old National Bank.
Friends? Yes. The financial partners whom you've built a relationship with at Old National Bank are still at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard location, right here in the borough. And so are the warm, homemade cookies.
Cookies are ready, dear.
Like Grandma used to make. If you need online and mobile banking, Murfreesboro's Old National Bank does that too. You and Old National Bank, better together.
Old National Bank at 2230 Dr. MLK Jr. Boulevard. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. Patronize our local mom and pop businesses. That's what it's all about. Neighbors helping neighbors. Circle January 31st on your calendar. That's a Saturday, and it's the 24th annual Polar Bear Plunge in the outdoor pool at SportsCom. Saturday, January 31st. Party in the indoor gym starts at 8 o'clock that morning, and the plunge is at 10. That's the 24th annual Polar Bear Plunge. Saturday, January 31st. SportsCom. There's a live tribute concert, Rewind, this Saturday and Sunday at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. With the hits of the Beatles, Van Halen, music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. This Saturday it's at 7:30 in the evening, along with the 2 o'clock Sunday matinee. It's at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury this coming weekend. WGNS is happy to list your Good Neighbor events absolutely free. Get them to us at least a month before they occur. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
When illness or injury turns everyday moments into uphill battles, there are medical professionals who step in with skill, compassion, and unwavering dedication. My name is Joey P. I'm CEO of Murfreesboro Medical Clinic, and we are proud to highlight this month's MMC Heart for Healing recipient.
A grateful patient wrote about a 3-week stay at Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital. When they were finally allowed to shower, Nurse Michaela Easterwood went above and beyond, washing and styling their hair with such care that Mom had one less worry. Even when she wasn't assigned to them, Michaela used her own breaks to stop by, check in, and bring comfort. Her kindness restored dignity and hope. That's why Michaela Easterwood is our Heart for Healing.
If a doctor, nurse, or other medical professional has made a difference in your life, tell your Good Neighbor station, WGNS. Nominate them for the MMC Heart for Healing Award and help us recognize the medical heroes in our community. Compassion deserves recognition, and healing begins with the heart.
Looking for something to take your mind off this traffic?
How about a true story of instant success? Did you hear about the two friends who went grocery shopping in Ashland City and picked up everything on their list plus $75,000? Or the one where a truck driver made a last-minute stop off Interstate 40 and drove off with a cool $1 million? All their lives changed in an instant, and yours could too. So stop by your local retailer for your chance with instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, life-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your savings last? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? Let's work together to help ensure your finances can keep up with your unique needs over the long haul. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Coleman. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056 for an appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
It's All That's News with Matt Lane on News Radio WGNS.
The News Watch continues with an update from CBS News next.
Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS Murfreesboro, W270AF Murfreesboro, W263AI Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. ICE agents clash with protesters as the FBI and Minnesota authorities investigate the shooting death of a woman by an ICE officer in a South Minneapolis neighborhood this morning. This resident on what he saw.
Shot 2 or 3 times through the driver's side window. The car drove 30-40 feet and crashed into another car in the telephone pole.
A U.S. official has identified the SUV driver as a 37-year-old Renee Good. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the woman tried to hit an officer with the car and was practicing self-defense. Minneapolis's mayor refutes that, and Governor Tim Walz says he has issued a warning order to the Minnesota National Guard.
Do not allow them to deploy federal troops into here. Do not allow them to invoke the Insurrection Act. Do not allow them to declare martial law. Do not allow them to lie about the security and the decency of this state. And let's let this investigation play itself out.
More from CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
The president says the situation's being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They're just trying to do the job of making America safe. No other specific response yet from here at the White House.
President Trump will meet with U.S. oil executives at the White House on Friday to discuss Venezuela.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says there's certainly a lot to discuss.
It's just a meeting to discuss, obviously, the immense opportunity that is before these oil companies right now.
Chevron is the only U.S. oil company currently operating in Venezuela. In the mid-2000s, Venezuela nationalized the assets of ConocoPhillips and Exxon. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A judge has delayed Nick Reiner's arraignment in the killing of his parents, Rob Reiner, and
circumstances beyond our control, but more importantly, circumstances beyond Nick's control have dictated that, sadly, it's made it impossible for us to continue our representation of Nick.
The arraignment is now scheduled for February 23rd. The Congressional Budget Office says the U.S. population will be 364 million in 30 years, 2.2% smaller than it had predicted a year ago. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Without immigration, the population will shrink in 2030. And even with the shrinking population, Social Security and Medicare, which are already struggling under an aging population, will be under increasing pressure with fewer than expected people in the labor force paying taxes.
U.S. transportation officials say California will lose $160 million for delaying the revocations of 17,000 commercial driver's licenses for immigrants. This is CBS.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shep.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
Good afternoon. A couple of accidents in their clearing stages. It should improve here in a few minutes northbound. 65 in Armory on that earlier crash. Of course, the heaviest flow of traffic right now in that area is coming southbound, headed on down into Brentwood, Franklin, down through Williamson County as it starts to build now. 65 with more volume up through Madison. A little bit slow, no surprise. 65 north there at Vietnam Vet. Hey, Stein Dental Care in Nashville. Over 500 five-star wonderful Google reviews. That's Stein Dental Care. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
We do it your way at Sir Pizza.
Murfreesboro's 3 locations. That's right. Join the Sir Pizza team. Just stop on in and ask for a manager.
Rutherford weather.
Increase in clouds expected for tonight as we bottom out around 49. Warmer temperatures expected into Thursday with a high around 71. We'll see mostly cloudy skies, still and breezy. I'm meteorologist Regina Kroll from the WGNS Rutherford Weather Center.
Right now, it's 67 degrees.
Premier 6 Theater on Broad in Jackson Heights.
Let's all go to the movies.
Check out what's showing at murfreesboromovies.com. Popcorn popped fresh daily.
Movies like a good old
Premier 6 on Broad in Jackson Heights.
We're the Good Neighbor Network. FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro. FM 100.5 Smyrna. Audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com.
From the first pitch to the final buzzer, this is where the conversation starts. All sports talk on WGNS and Big G TV, covering the Preps, MTSU, news from Tennessee and nationwide. Now, here's all sports talk on the Good Neighbor Network.
And welcome inside the WGNS studio. Dylan Simmons with you for all sports talk on this Wednesday night. Our first 2026 episode of All Sports Talk right here on the Good Neighbor Network. And I'm going to tell you what, folks, we have a sensational show coming up for you tonight because we are joined by the head coach of the Middle Tennessee men's tennis team. Jimmy Borendame is in the house tonight, the all-star coach, several-time conference champion coach. Coach Borendame, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Yeah, hey, appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
Man, it's great to have you here. And let's see, I think I first met you back in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be my, I think, 5th season watching you guys play. And I'll tell you what, I've seen football, I've seen basketball, but there's a certain energy around MTSU men's tennis that really I think is unmatched as far as MTSU athletics goes.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we've been playing well, so I'm gonna have to keep you coming to the matches since we've been winning while you've been around.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch all those victories and to see you guys play up to such a high level. As far as what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about 2026 expectations for you guys, the new players on the roster, scheduling, stuff like that. But we're also going to take a little bit of a look back and kind of reflect on what you've been able to do throughout your career at MTSU. So I want to start with this. Let's start with when you started off as a coach at MTSU. Back in 2011, you took over as the MTSU head coach and began the process of building up the Blue Raiders into what they are today. How do you compare yourself from where you were then as a head coach to who you are now? Has your philosophy changed? Have things shifted? Have you evolved in some way as a head coach?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so I actually got hired in 2010, and I'll never forget because I only had 4 players on the roster in that fall, and I had to basically revamp a team, and this is before the transfer portal times when we didn't have to deal with that. But yeah, I mean, I purposely make it a plan to try to morph myself and the program and constantly add things to keep making it grow. I mean, the tiniest little things that I can do to make it a little better is a goal, and also then in hindsight look and see like what could I have done better. I've always looked at the job as not just a tennis coach role, but as CEO type role.
Yeah.
You've seen the marketing things and the goofy things that I try to get people to come out to matches.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and then getting to build two amazing tennis complexes and be hands-on on all the design has been an amazing experience. So, it still kind of catches me off guard, and you think that it's been 16 seasons.
Yeah.
So I'm the old dude.
You're not that old, but yeah, 16 years with MTSU men's tennis, and it's been a heck of a ride so far. Let's talk about the general landscape of college tennis, because you mentioned the transfer portal just a second ago and all the changes that have taken place, especially in recent years. Has the amount of change that we've seen over the last decade affected your process for bringing in talent and navigating the offseason? Has that shifted anything in some respect?
I mean, it's just changed the dynamic. Like I come from the era where loyalty and the commitment to be there for 4 years. I mean, my commitment to Middle Tennessee to be here for 16 years, and want to build this program to be notorious for champions and developing great young men. Whereas, the student athletes, not every one of them look at it the same way. So many of them look at it as very transactional, and they don't look at me as the person that's trying to help them become a better human being and man and player. It's like, hey, I'm here for the season, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And that's very difficult for me to adjust and think about. But I still base myself as a relationship-based coach, whether it's they look at it as transactional or not. So sometimes those things don't, mesh, but and we kind of hit a crossroads. But it's what it is. I've always been the guy that says, all right, the rules are the rules, and all right, let's go. I'm not going to complain about them. I'm not going to whine about them. We're still playing tennis. We still keep score, and you got to win on the court. So that's the way I've looked at it.
Yeah, and listening to what you just said right there sounds a lot like stuff I've heard from like a Nick Saban or a Kirby Smart in the way that they look at how things have shifted from what they were to what they are now.
Mm-hmm.
But like you mentioned, you adapt to those circumstances and you make the most of it, and I think you've done a great job of that. As far as the development of players goes, which you just talked about in depth, and the lessons that you're trying to instill onto them, what does that look like, and what is your process as a coach during that critical time trying to develop these guys?
I mean, the development piece has changed because obviously I keep thinking that I'm going to have the guy for 4 years.
Right.
And that development window is now 9 months because, in men's tennis, we're August to May. And these guys, we don't get them all summer like basketball and football and volleyball sticking around all summer for training or whatever it is. At least at Middle Tennessee, some other places they are. So it's really compacted my opportunity to be developmental, and it's also compacted my ability to show them that I care about them, and it's made my life very difficult. I've lost a lot of hair. I know we're on the radio, so it's probably a good thing, but I look at it is I have to take every opportunity that I can to coach them. I haven't been able to be as patient because the kids are looking at it like each season is like a snippet, and then boom, they don't get what they want in 1 year, and it's like, okay, all right, I'm out. So it's tough. It's much tougher for me, and I think it's tougher for everybody, really.
Yeah, I don't think that that's exclusive to college tennis either. Like you mentioned, the time frame is a lot different in other sports, and that development period kind of gets shifted as a result of that. But like you said, it's the modern world of college athletics. You hear it from a lot of coaches these days, and you guys, despite the tough circumstances that you're brought with, you, like I said, you make the most of it, and you try to find a way to figure out, to navigate through that, and I always think that's such an enviable thing to be able to do that. As far as practice itself, this is kind of something that I'm just generally curious about. What are some of the favorite drills that you run as a coach? And is that something you'd be willing to share for everybody here?
Yeah, it's funny. When I was a younger head coach, earlier you'd asked about like how you've adjusted. I remember calling other coaches and trying to constantly figure out like maybe these teams are better than me because they're doing these special drills, and it's this special. and I've maybe I don't know, maybe if I've gotten smarter or dumber or whatever, but I've boiled it down to like I have my 7 to 10 drills.
Yeah.
And we just do them over and over and over, and maybe I tweak them a little bit, but at the end of the day, tennis is about keeping the ball in play, and then being versatile. It's like playing a massive. It's like playing chess, and or I also with the kids now I use the analogy. We're playing video. They're playing video games, and I'm trying to help them put as many different weapons in their bag to kill the other guy with.
Yes.
And my son likes that one a lot.
Gotcha.
What is that, Fortnite? Or
Fortnite,
or
yes.
whatever.
That's the big one with the kids these days.
Yeah, and so, but I took a little twist from the Coach Carter movie. Have you seen Coach Carter?
I've heard of Coach Carter, yeah.
And, it's probably not appropriate to name drills after girlfriends, but I named different drills and different things that we do after former players that have played for me. That they did things extremely well. And so we've got the Spanish drill, we've got this drill, the Dutch drill, the Czech drill, blah, blah.
Yes.
And it's kind of a cool little shout out to the past players that have come through, and then the guys kind of know what I'm talking about. It's like our own little secret language, so to speak. So, there's no special sauce. It's the same drills that you've learned as an average tennis player, and we just kind of run them into the ground. A lot of fundamental stuff. It's not like anything fancy pants.
Well, you got to get the fundamentals right before you get anything else right. And, that makes me think, this is completely off topic, but you talked about naming drills after past players. I'm sure you remember when Stein Slump was with the men's tennis team. Obviously, he's a great player. My supervisor, Dan, I'm a GTA also at MTSU. He's my supervisor, and he had this chant whenever Stein would do something big time, and you probably remember, he'd yell, "So big, Stein!" like at the top of his lungs. I don't know if you ever heard that, but that just chuckled me up every time I heard that.
Stein's a great one. Some of those guys, I love to reminisce about that. There was a core group there that played for me for 5 years.
Yeah.
Now we talk about the transfer portal, like, you're lucky if you get a guy to stay for 2 years,
right?
And to think that there was a meat and potatoes of those squads where I had 5 years, and so I try to bring that up a lot when I'm talking to new recruits, because the proof's in the pudding. Those guys got so much better, and you've got to give a system some time, and you've got to get the reps, and our track record speaks for itself. So our players get better. They're playing well on the Pro Tour. Stein's doing really well.
Right.
He's been injured a little bit lately, but they go on to do well. Their universal tennis ratings improve, and we've been winning.
Yeah.
I don't like to talk a lot about the past championships, but you walk in my office and you see the big thing of 8 rings.
It's a heck of a statement.
And those are just my rings from Middle Tennessee. We're super lucky, Dan and your team, to broadcast at the matches and the fans that we've had over the years. It's really pretty cool to see. If you haven't been to a match, come out and see the crowd is awesome.
Yeah.
As I tell people, players play better with a great crowd, and I coach better.
That's a good way to look at it. And you talked about all those rings. He's like a tennis version of Coach Signetti. He just goes out there and he wins. So you can Google him and figure that out, folks. Now, I want you to talk a little bit about the members of your staff, because you have a great staff that helps put all this together. People like Josh McDermott, Coach John. Talk about their importance to this team.
Coach Josh and Coach John have been huge. For us, Josh has been with me. We're in year 2. Coach John's been with us since 2017. He's like my right hand. And we've got to kind of get a very interesting staff. Coach John is the very mellow, keeps me calm, kind of, great demeanor, been through the gauntlet of coaching. He's got like 30 years of SEC head coaching under him, played in the SEC.
Yeah.
Coach Josh is the young, he's 26 years old. He can relate to the players very well. And I'm like the middle-aged crazy guy that kind of loses his mind from time to time, but
pretty good balance there.
It's actually great. It couldn't be any better. But then there's all kinds of people behind the scenes that are just phenomenal that don't get any credit. Our Jeff Coffey, Carrie Haney, our directors of ops. We've got managers. There's just a long line of marketing people that have helped us over the years, and we've just been really lucky. Like I've been our strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
Coach Blatnick. I mean, the guys love this guy. I mean, and so knock on wood, I got to keep that rolling and just keep surrounding ourselves with great people.
Well, that's kind of the key when it comes to building a successful team and a successful program, is to get the right people on the staff to sustain that success. And as far as we can tell, you've done a really good job of that. And that's, I think, in a way, what's helped you guys to those 6 consecutive Conference USA championships. So it's been really impressive to see. We'll talk members of the roster and more expectations for the 2026 season with head coach Jimmy Borendame right here on All Sports Talk. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a bit, folks.
Sign-ups are going on right now for First Shot's Winter Basketball League in Rutherford County. Coach Andy Herzer guides kids to sharpen basketball skills and build teamwork through exciting clinics and games. Since 2003, First Shot has empowered youth to grow in mind, spirit, and body. Don't miss out. Join the fun and develop lifelong skills. Visit FirstShotTN.org today and register for the Winter Basketball League. That's FirstShotTN.org.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
Are you paying too much for home and auto insurance? Let the experienced professionals at My Team Insurance in Murfreesboro help. With decades of experience, their team provides superior customer service, low rates, and a clear understanding of your coverage needs. Whether it's home, auto, health, business, or life insurance, My Team Insurance makes protection simple and affordable. Visit myteaminsurance.com today. That's myteaminsurance.com. My Team Insurance, proud supporters of the Blue Raiders.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
Whether you're buying or selling a home or commercial property, the auction is just so much easier, quicker, smoother.
My wife and I sold our personal home. Parks Auction helped us with that. The house brought about 20% more than we were going to ask for.
Visit parksauction.com.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
Hi, I'm Wade Hayes, owner of Toots Good Food and Fun. I strongly believe that volunteers make a positive difference in the quality of life here in our community.
Rutherford County's Chief of Staff, Eric Hennessy, has a history of helping those in need. He's been honored with awards recognizing his pro bono legal assistance to those in need. In addition, his involvement in mission trips, service on both Main Street as well as the Discovery Center's boards, demonstrates a pattern of volunteer service to this community. Thank you, Eric Hennessy.
At Toots, we strongly believe that it's important for every one of our citizens to give some of their time and talent back into the community. And we want to honor these individuals with a Toots gift certificate good at any of our Rutherford County locations. 860 Northwest Broad Street, on Church Street in the Barfield area, in Smyrna on Sam Ridley, and Toots West on Franklin Road at Rucker Lane.
Good afternoon. We got a couple of accidents out here. We had some in South Nashville a few minutes ago on 65 North there in Armory. It should be out of there in a few minutes as traffic increases to the north up to Madison right now on 65 passing OHB, getting on that ramp to Vietnam Vets. Plenty of radar down I-40 through the Mount Juliet area. It was earlier. 24, same thing out in the Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Watch your speed. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car or big truck, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, wgnsradio.com, and Big G TV.
Welcome back inside the WGNS studio here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Dylan Simmons with you, talking with the head coach of the Middle Tennessee men's tennis team, head coach Jimmy Borendame. Coach, we're hot off the holiday season and New Year's, and you told me right before we got on the air that you came back from a trip out of the country, right?
Oh, yeah, the fam, we got a little break. Went down to the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
A little Punta Cana.
Ah.
Yeah. It was really nice.
Yeah, and you said your son Rocco thought everything was paid for, right?
Yeah, he rocks up to me at the pool on day 2, and he says, "Dad, man, this vacation is just amazing." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." He said, No, but everything is free. Everything's free. And he was on like his 5th pina colada at the time. I tried to explain to him that that's not how it works.
Yeah, it's not quite like that, but I love when you're a kid. It's not a big stress point for you. You can just relax, and the parents will take care of it. Exactly. But getting back to tennis, we're going to talk a little bit about the roster in this segment. And as per usual, you guys have a really talented roster this year. And I think when you look at the leadership, we talked a little bit about this during the break. You got guys like Kareem Alameen and Andre Horak, guys who have been there for multiple years now. Tell me about these veteran guys, their importance when it comes to performance and leadership for this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, those two, I mean, I got gutted pretty good by the portal, but, all the best to those guys that left. But Kareem and Andre, great success the past year. Already had great success this fall.
Right.
Just to be able to build on that and keep seeing them sharpening iron, as they say. And I look at them both as like they're other assistant coaches, and they're able to really help us guide, some of the new guys, whether they're transfers or freshmen, and show them the ropes on how we do things in our culture. So I don't get a chance to tell them how much I do appreciate them both. So love having those guys back.
Well, there you go. And I think, like you mentioned, when you're a young player, a new player, entering a new program, and this isn't just for sports, it's for any program, organization in general, you need those guys who have been there a while to kind of acquaint you with what you're getting yourself into, to embrace it a little more, get comfortable, and that's why I'm sure it's so great and such a big asset to have those guys around. And you talked about the fall season. Not only have these guys been consistent over the past few years, but in the fall season, they made it to the NCAA Doubles Championships, and Kareem was CUSA Player of the Month for last month. How have you seen these guys develop over the past few seasons, and what are you thinking performance-wise that we could see from these guys here in 2026?
So much. I mean, Kareem, I like to remind him constantly that it's all about perception and, to see where you've come from. He transferred to Middle as a sophomore from University of New Orleans, and he didn't really play much his sophomore season.
Yeah.
Sporadically, here, there. To go from that, basically the so-called basketball sixth man, to then becoming the conference player of the year, that's a really nice big boy jump.
That's development.
Now entering his senior year as the returning, but making sure that he looks at that as hey, these are stepping stones. Not that there's, don't look at it like it's an expectation, but hey, the growth is going and we're going in the right direction, and he's done that. He had a very solid fall, and then Andre Horak, I mean, this guy has had very strong success. He is one of three players, one of three players to have ever made the NCAA national tournament 3 times. And with two partners in doubles. And so he has actually had probably his strongest fall. And so those two, they're doubles partners and teammates and friends, but they're going to be kind of like duking it out for the 1-2 spot. So nothing like a little friendly competition. Very excited to see them both excel. And it's a little scary for me to think that Andre Horek is a senior, because I still remember him when he was a freshman.
Yeah, man, that is hard to believe, because I remember when he was a freshman, when he was just coming in, and man, time certainly does fly. But I'm telling you, these guys have developed well, and I think, like you mentioned, it shows that these guys have confidence, they have experience, and they have that leadership to bring to this team, and I'm sure that's going to be a huge factor for MTSU this year. Now, we already discussed the old guard, but you're also bringing in a lot of new stars this year. 4 transfers coming to the team, along with, if I'm not mistaken, 4 new freshmen joining the roster this season. There are always some unknowns when it comes to new guys, but there is some real talent in that group. Talk a little bit about that new group and what stood out to you so far.
Yeah, sure. I'll hit the transfers first because they're a little older. Jonas from TSU was a number 1 player at TSU. Very strong, decorated player. We've just kind of helped shape him a little bit. We haven't had to do a ton. The kid is one of the most coachable kids I've had. Phenomenal student, very very self-aware of his game and what he needs to do. Gonna be very strong for us. We've got Freddie Murray. Freddie is also a former number 1 player from UNC Asheville. Mm-hmm. Very solid player. We've just tried to tweak and get him to change his mindset a little bit, to be a little bit more aggressive. Still working on that a little bit, but that's okay. He's very dangerous. Had some great results already this fall. Probably on universal tennis rating, it may have improved the most on paper. Berton Duran is a very, very talented young man from North Alabama. Has a couple more years, 2 years of eligibility. Actually, over winter break, may have had 1 or 2, probably some of the best results he's had. Really put himself in a spot because he's improved his fitness. That's big, which is huge.
Yeah.
Still need to instill a little bit of instill a little killer instinct in him.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Yeah, but and then Eric Crevet. Eric Crevet reminds me a lot of a guy that Francisco Rocha.
Yes.
Kind of has this giant chip on his shoulder. He's the guy that, you're really happy during the dual matches he's on your team. He's not afraid, as a Francisco Rocha would be, to stir it up in practice, so to speak. But he's made big strides. I've been happy to see him make some adjustments in that. So that's the transfers. Whew, I'm out of breath. It's a lot of
ground to cover. Yeah.
But the youth, the 4 freshies are very intriguing. Antoine Mayoral is this tall, skinny as a stick. Forgive me, Antoine, for giving you a hard time about that, but
nothing wrong with being thin, Antoine.
Yeah, we probably need to not wear the sleeveless shirts all the time because, but no, I'm just kidding. He is a tall lefty, and this kid, when you guys get to see him, his serve makes like a little different noise. It's pretty nasty.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of talent there. Then you've got Houston Jakes, one of the highest ranked American kids I've ever got. The poor kid is got a little bit of an injury bug kind of thing going on, but very talented player, and he's kind of getting himself back into shape. Could be really strong later in the spring. I have also got Richard Lalance, who's a local product that I actually worked with since he was really young. Very big tennis family. His grandfather was actually the MTSU coach. And then the last but not least, good thing because I'm out of breath talking about all this and boring y'all to death, is Santiago Lora. I just brought a player in this week. Just arrived from Bolivia.
Yes.
And 100 in the world in juniors. A lot of potential. Kind of going to see how he adjusts. There's always an acclimation period with a young man from another country, another continent.
Yeah.
And get him used to the hard courts and see what he can do. So I'm pretty excited. He's a very feisty feisty ones. So I think we've got a lot of horses in the stable, so to speak. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
It sounds like you got a lot of talent at your disposal, and it's going to be a really special group. Bouncing off of that, looking at this year's team, do they compare to past teams that you guys have had? Any similarities or differences to past units that you've had in your 16 seasons as the head coach?
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's a lot of similarities to the 2023 team. You know, that team had some big horses in the seniors in Stein, Francisco, and Pavel. All, you know, this team's got 4 pretty well-rounded seniors, and Freddie, Jonas, Kareem, and Andre. And then there's like a pretty big divide between with the youth. And so, you know, I also felt that year that team had great leadership. You know, when they needed to handle something with the younger guys, they handled it without me getting involved.
Yeah.
And so that's like a lot of off-court stuff and personalities. I think I feel like there's a lot of similarities to that group. And so that was a really good group.
Yes.
There was a lot of big wins that season. So I like that comparison. But we'll see. You know, we just take one match at a time. I'm not going to try to set the expectations too high.
Yeah, that 23 team, though, I remember that was a special group. I think they won a match in the tournament, right? The NCAA tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah. They that team. They could have even maybe they were probably that was probably one of the closer ones to make the round of 16 of the ones that went into the round of 32.
Yeah, that was a special unit among a lot of special units for MTSU men's tennis. We talked about the fall season a little bit earlier. When you look at what you were able to accomplish in the fall season with some of your players, how important is that time of year to develop and get the team to where they need to be in the spring season? How critical overall are those months?
I mean, I look at it as it's very it's critical because in that span of time, I need to get them fitter, faster, mentally tougher. And most importantly, I need to make sure in this short window of time that I've created this new culture with this, you know, crazy mix of transfers, freshmen, and only the 2 couple of returners. And to make sure we're really all on the same page, let them understand that I care about them, and then really shed the whole summer mentality, which is, you know, I'm just worried about me. I'm a pro tennis player. It's all about me too. Hey, this is way bigger than you. This is the team. This is the program. This is the way we do things. And and so it sets the stage for the spring.
That's a very interesting point you just made because a lot of times when you're younger, you play more as an individual sometimes. You're not as much into a team setting, or you don't compete as a team. So that's probably an adjustment for some of these guys at first. But I'm sure you'd agree that is as important as anything to make them understand, especially in the world of college tennis.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we joke on the team quite a bit. I don't know, Freddie Murray, the transfer from UNC Asheville. I mean, we tell this story, and I still kind of baffles me to this day. Is, you know, we're pretty lucky. We buy them pregame meal.
Right? Okay.
And he messages and says, "Well, at UNC Asheville, I got a large Domino's pepperoni pizza."
Okay.
And I'm like, "You did what?"
A large Domino's.
I mean, I'm getting angry just thinking about it. And you know, that's not a nutritious meal before you're about to go play. And so, you know, we convinced him that, you know, you have to make this change. Like this is not what high performing programs and tennis players do. And thank goodness we did, because that day he upset a kid named Facundo Yunis, who plays number 1 and number 2 for Indiana, and has beaten us, I don't know, a couple years in a row. And he beats him 7-6 in the third, you know, and was down match points. And I'm thinking, that nutrition that day before, and if we wouldn't have established that, I can't imagine getting ready to play Vanderbilt and him trying to wolf down a whole Domino's pizza or whatever. Nothing against Domino's while we're on the radio, but I mean, in case they're a sponsor. But I just, we have to little things like that. It's just when you're coming from a different program, you got to change those expectations and that standard. Yeah, if you want to have high-performing student athletes.
Yeah, you got to adjust some things, and I feel Freddie's pain because when I was in high school, I would sometimes, because when I was a senior, I got off of school early, so I'd go home before tennis practice, and I'd eat like a DiGiorno's pizza or something, and that was, I'm sure you can imagine, not a great idea for me, but you know what, we made it through, and we were able to figure it out. So lastly, before we go to break here, what has been the message to your team as you get ready to enter a new season? How are you preparing them for what you're going to see?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so we start practice on Friday. The message, is got to be continue the culture. We've got to go bring Santiago into the culture, and he's got to figure it out very quickly, because we go straight into competition. So bringing a kid in January it's just not easy. I've been preaching a couple different things. Number one is as always, we got tons of matches throughout the season, and we don't want to highlight one or this one more than the other. It's each one as part of the process.
Yes.
The second part is last year's downfall was in my opinion was the doubles. For the first time in a long time, I want to say we were 50-50 in the doubles, so I'm trying to get that going. And then, we're just going to be together. So
I like that.
Short and pretty simple, really.
Yeah, short and simple. Establish a standard and maintain consistency. That's what MTSU men's tennis is all about. We're going to talk schedule and some final thoughts for the MTSU men's tennis 2026 season with the head coach, Jimmy Borndame, when we come back. Blue Raider Insider Report and more all sports talk on the other side of this break.
Whether you need general vehicle upkeep and maintenance or a complete vehicle overhaul, Hall's Auto Care is here for you. We're locally owned and operated by Greg Hall and have been in business since 2014. You'll get excellent service and trustworthy advice with Hall's Auto Care. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We're ready to help get you safely on the road. Hall's Auto Care, 907 Ridgely Road, just off Broad Street behind Chili's. Online at hallsautocare.net. Hall's Auto Care.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
This is a paid legal ad.
I'm attorney John Day. One of our clients was operating a farm tractor when he was rear-ended by a tractor trailer. In an instant, his life was changed forever. We helped him receive a settlement that has given him financial security for the rest of his life. Now, each case is different, and we can't promise this type of result for every case. But we can promise that when you hire the law offices of John Day, we'll work hard to help you. If you think we can help, call me, John Day.
This is Peter Demas. Come eat with us at Demas's restaurant. A lot of times when you get steamed vegetables such as broccoli or cauliflower, it's either soggy. One of the things that we wanted to do was make certain that it was still soft, but still had a little bit of a crunch to it. And so we worked on the procedure of how to cook that. And then all of our vegetables are seasoned with our seasoned salt. We keep that seasoned salt at home, and I can tell you almost all the vegetables I cook at home have the seasoned salt on it. Come eat with us at Demas's restaurant on Northwest Broad Street.
Next on All Sports Talk, it's the Blue Raider Insider Report with Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and let's talk Blue Raider basketball. And the Middle Tennessee Athletic Department is excited to announce another edition of the popular Blue Raider Baby Race. The 2026 Great Blue Raider Baby Race will take place on Saturday, January 17th, when the Blue Raider men will host Missouri State at the Glass House. Tip-off is set for 5 o'clock with the baby race scheduled for halftime. Participation is exclusive to crawling babies. Participants can register on GoBlueRaiders.com, and the registration deadline is Thursday, January 15th. Each baby must be accompanied on the court by 2 supervisors, one at the starting line and one at the finish line. And again, that information is available on goblueraiders.com. Speaking of basketball, you can hear in the background the Blue Raider men are at practice here in El Paso, Texas, getting ready for their game tomorrow night against the UTEP Miners. Looking at the schedule in Conference USA, there are a couple of games on the schedule for tonight. Missouri State will be at Kennesaw and FIU at Jacksonville State. And the Thursday slate has Liberty at Louisiana Tech, Delaware at Sam Houston, Western Kentucky at New Mexico State, and Middle Tennessee will be at UTEP. Checking the standings after the first full week of activity, there are 3 undefeated teams. That would be Liberty, Middle, and Missouri State, all 3-0. There are 3 teams that are winless: Sam Houston, Kennesaw State, and UTEP. Western Kentucky and FIU and Jacksonville State are all 2-1, while New Mexico State, Louisiana Tech, and Delaware are all 1-2. On the women's basketball side of things, no action tonight in Conference USA, but there is a full slate of activity on Thursday night, including at the Glass House, where Middle Tennessee will be hosting the UTEP Miners at 6:30. Elsewhere in the league, Sam Houston is on the road at Liberty, Louisiana Tech at Delaware, Jacksonville State will be at FIU, and Kennesaw at Missouri State, while New Mexico State will play at Western Kentucky. Looking at the women's standings right now in Conference USA, you've got 4 undefeated teams. Sam Houston and Missouri State are 1-0, while Liberty and Middle Tennessee are 2-0. You've got Delaware and Western Kentucky at 0-2. FIU and Louisiana Tech are 0-1. Then the split teams, 1-1, are UTEP, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, and New Mexico State. So that's how women's basketball is looking up. Otherwise, a couple of things of note as we wrap up here today. In women's soccer, head coach Aston Roden has announced the signing of 5 transfer players. They include Taylor Dodson, Haley Phillips, Bryn Forchick, Valentina Nevada, and Sachi Bureau. And a baseball note as we wrap things up today. Middle Tennessee Baseball has announced the 2026 Groundhog Day Luncheon will be held February 2nd at 11:30 a.m. in the Student Union Ballroom. The 53rd annual event, a program tradition since 1973, invites fans, former players, and supporters to meet the Blue Raiders ahead of the upcoming season. Baseball alumni can get in for $30. General admission tickets are $35, and a table of 10 seats is $250. So that's a look at what's going on today from El Paso, Texas. We'll have Blue Raider basketball coming up tomorrow, but we'll have another update as well right here on the Big G, WGNS.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, wgnsradio.com, and Big G TV.
And welcome back. Happy Hump Day, as Leland Statham would say over there on News Channel 5. Dylan Simmons along with MTSU men's tennis head coach Jimmy Borendame on this Wednesday night. Coach, you been keeping up with the college football playoff any?
A little bit. I like to follow Indiana and
yes, Coach Cignetti.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Yeah. We were talking over the break about his mentality and what he's done with the Hoosiers, and I'll tell you, his turnaround in 2 years has been really impressive. And you've talked about studying how he approaches things and how his mentality works, and I'm sure that even helps you to see what you can do as a coach and maybe improve on things or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to learn and take things from other coaches. I also like Corbin over at Vanderbilt and what he does with baseball, the baseball program, and always just looking for different nuggets to see how I can motivate my team and be a little bit better.
There you go. Now, let's talk a little bit about the schedule that you guys have coming up for 2026. One thing that you and the team have never been afraid of is to schedule some power opponents, and we've got some this year. You obviously open with Lipscomb and Tennessee Tech. That comes up next Friday. But then you've got opponents like Harvard. You go to Vanderbilt, at Virginia Tech, at Indiana, just to name a few. What is the philosophy behind playing those tough opponents for you guys during the season?
I mean, it's kind of multifaceted. I mean, number one, you only get better when you beat, strong players.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're beating somebody that you're better than, or they're not even in the same wheelhouse. I mean, yeah, you got the win, okay, great, but did you really get better? Did you get pushed? And so I am not a big component worried about my win-loss record, and so I'm trying to schedule the best. I want to be pushed myself, and to be honest, also the other part of it is the players and for our fans, I want to get name teams to town.
Yeah.
That people recognize and get excited for when Alabama comes to town, when Virginia Tech or whoever it may be. And those are pivotal battles. I mean, and we're not just playing them, and it's not like a pay for play game, where the school's getting money I mean, we're winning. I don't know what my record is against the Power Four, but we win a lot.
Yeah.
And so, to try to get a little bit better. And so, the goal is to make pushes in the NCAA tournament.
Right. And I was about to go into that. And I hear Rick Insel talk about this too for the women's basketball team. But you have to beat the best in order to be the best. So scheduling these tough opponents out of conference, I'd say it really does prepare you for that tournament setting. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and especially on the road, if you're not a top 16 team, to get to the round of 16, you got to take out the host team.
Right.
And so, I mean, and that's why our road matches at USF, at Virginia Tech, at Oklahoma State, I mean, those ones are just as tough. So, want the team to be tested. Got some more double headers in there because we've got some great depth. I'm looking forward to starting practice on Friday.
Yes, going to be some big-time matches this season. Now, when we look at Conference USA this season in particular, you've got Jacksonville State, Liberty, Kennesaw State, Delaware added to the mix this season as well. So, if you don't mind, what do you think of the new CUSA edition, the Blue Hens, and what sort of competition do you expect to see from CUSA this season?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't do a ton of digging about Conference USA teams. I know we've faced off with Liberty in the finals the past couple years. You talked about changes I've made. As a younger coach, I used to scour all the other teams and look at Indiana or look at they're on the schedule. I just have taken one match at a time. I prep for ourselves for the next one. I'm not talking about those other teams. Conference tournament is in April.
Right.
I'm prepping myself for Friday's first day of practice.
Yes.
And so the teams, all the teams are good. We got a big old target on our back, and I let them worry about us, and I worry about our team and what we need to do.
There you go, one game at a time. Now, when it comes to this program, obviously, and we talked about this as well off air, but this is going to be a big season as far as the opportunity to host the men's and women's tennis tournament this upcoming season at the Adams Tennis Complex, an outdoor facility. Talk about that opportunity. Obviously, you've hosted it in the past. What does it mean to have the opportunity to host the tournament this year for MTSU men's tennis?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty special this year. We have men and women together at the same time. We've never done this before. Great opportunity for our community of Murfreesboro to come see great tennis. The other day somebody asked me, about the past year's championships and this, that, and blah, blah, blah. And, and I tell them, what, I'm the only one I'm worried about is the next one.
Yeah.
And so, when we get there, we'll be all in, and I know we're already making preparations for hosting the event, and then I just like to do a little Jimmy Shimmy dance for good weather. So, even though we have a beautiful indoor and Adams Tennis Complex, I always want to play this on our new outdoor tennis complex on campus, and it's just amazing stadium to host at.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous facility, and I can't wait to see that tennis tournament coming up. In mid-April for that. On top of all of that, you guys have a really great core fan base that comes out to each and every game. And for all of those who are new to men's tennis, trying to figure it out, trying to see what you guys are all about, talk a little bit about the environment and how big of an impact the fans have for you guys and how special it is to have those fans out each and every game.
Yeah, I mean, actually, when I talk about the experience, I have, over the years, I've worked so hard to add all these different components to it to make it an experience. I always have tried to look at it like an entertainment. You know, it is entertainment, and how do I make it, you know, an exciting time and great for the family and what. So forgive me if I forget something. So chime in if I forget something. But
sure.
I mean, we start off right now, and I'm working my tail off on them. We have ball kids, so we have opportunities for young children to. We have a sponsor. They get shirts. They get the best seat in the house. They get to sit on. They're on the court. They get to know the players. And then obviously that's great because that brings mom and dad because they want to see their youngster on court.
Of course.
We do captain, honorary captain of the match before the match. I have built both tennis centers so that we can have food trucks available at the matches. We have an amazing sponsorship with Cedar Glade Brewery, in which we have draft beer at the matches.
Mm-hmm.
We also have. What was it? I'm sorry, I had a
theme
moment
nights.
there. The theme nights,
yes.
Left and right. Free giveaways, sometimes free little snacks at the matches, and then we do all kinds of other events like Hit It to Win It, where kids can play a little tennis, try to return somebody's serve. We have free Fridays. I forgot. Before the match, free children's clinics on Fridays on specified dates. So come out, get some tennis, then come watch for 30 minutes. And most importantly, everything at 10 tennis matches is all free. And if it's less than 50 degrees, we're indoors at Adams Tennis Complex.
Yes.
If it's nicer than 50 degrees, we're outdoor on campus, and it is also free. So, check us out. If you haven't been, come on out. I give my wife usually $100 to go buy people their first beer if they haven't seen it. She hasn't seen it before, and we want you to come and try it for once, and we usually get you to come back.
Yes,
so that's the key.
It's a special, it's a unique environment year in and year out. You can also catch the games on MTN Sports. They air those games every single home match. Each and every time. And usually those are on YouTube or on the Go Blue Raiders website, so check those out if you're interested as well. Coach, that's about all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for coming in, and good luck with this season. I think it's going to be a special one for you.
Thanks so much, Dylan. I appreciate everything.
Absolutely. The men's tennis team, 6-time defending Conference USA champions, perhaps going to get the 7-peat this year, looking for another special season. We will be back with All Sports Talk tomorrow night. I'll be on with Ethan Williams. Can't wait for that. But as for tonight, for head coach Jimmy Borndame, for my producer Jackson, and for all of you listening in, I'm Dylan Simmons saying so long, and remember to always have an electric night.
This has been All Sports Talk on WGNS and Big G TV, where we hit every level of the game, from the preps to MTSU across Tennessee and the nation. Thanks for tuning in to All Sports Talk from the Good Neighbor Network.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.